Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit to those parents who are preparing their high schoolers for college. I'm here with Jennifer Finetti of Scholarship Owl. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
This is such an exciting time for some of our parents getting their babies ready. But there are some tips. There are some things that they could do better to prepare those high schoolers for college. What kind of tips do you have for us?
The first tip I have is that parents should be sitting down and talking to their children, not just about selecting colleges, but also about their available budget. And I know this is sometimes a challenging topic. Parents may not want to be revealing how much they've saved or haven't saved for their child's college education, but having that conversation is really important because that can inform the decisions about which colleges students should be applying to. And so, I recommend having that conversation early in high school if possible, but if not, then if you are the parent of a junior, have that conversation now so that they're ready for next year. And then, of course, also sitting down with your child to look at options for colleges that are not only going to fit your budget, but also that will fit their academic interests and their future career needs.
Those are fantastic tips. Now, I often wonder, should the parents consider whether or not they're in state or out of state? Should that play any role in terms of, being prepared financially to make sure that kid can get through 4 years? Because so often what happens is, maybe they get in for that first year and they're set, but then year 2 and year 3 and year 4, the finances get a little, wobbly. Is that something they should have a conversation about as well?
Definitely. An in-state public university is typically going to be less expensive than an out-of-state or private school. Although in some cases, you can get large scholarships from universities that are out of state or private. But the real question is, what is your bottom line out-of-pocket cost going to be? In many cases, even after large scholarships from those endowments, in many cases, in public in-state university is still going to be less expensive. And so that's really an important conversation to have. And then the other thing is thinking about the cost of travel, right? If your child is going to be going a significant distance away, how many times will they have to fly back and forth, not only in the first year, but in subsequent years? How many times as a parent are you going to have to fly back and forth? What's the cost of storing their items over the summer when they come home? So, those are a lot of costs that families sometimes don't think about. And then the other thing, of course, is your child ready to be significantly far away from home? Some kids really are, but some kids are not. And if you or your child have any question about if they're ready to be super far away from home, then I would recommend choosing a school that is within a driving distance away, or at least within public transit away, versus having to consider having to take a plane. Because sometimes kids want to come home. A lot of parents think, oh, my child is only going to want to come home for Thanksgiving and Christmas in the summer, but in many cases, students do actually want to come home and spend time with their friends and family for weekend visits.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Those are things that I think, often we don't think about until they're right up on us. Like we, hadn't even put that on the table. Those are great tips. Is there a place that we can go and learn a little bit more about Scholarship Owl? Because I think that this type of information, having it on a consistent basis, a place where we can kind of go to and refer to, would be helpful for parents.
Absolutely. I encourage students to really prioritize applying for scholarships. And that's what we do at Scholarship Owl. We have a platform that enables them to quickly and easily apply to so many different scholarships that are really well matched for them. We have artificial intelligence and machine learning built into the platform so that the matches are super relevant. And of course, the more relevant a scholarship is to a student, the more likely it is that they're going to actually be able to apply and win that scholarship. So for families interested in saving money for college through scholarships, you can go to scholarshipowl.com, and there's tons of information there.
So much information. Thank you so much. You have been a wealth of information just in this interview, so I appreciate your time. It was good to meet you.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, there is help out there. There's guidance. I think that sometimes it feels a little overwhelming, not just for the student, but for the parents too, right? And you're trying to prepare them and help them to get along their way. Take the opportunity to get the help where it is. It's right there on the internet. There's the link for you. Take the opportunity to, dig in, see what you can find out so that this transition is a little bit easier for you and your student. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this segment of Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back with more.